was having some problems. I was getting some feedback, and somehow I changed something in my audio mixer for monitoring. So I was hearing myself talk, but it was on the delay. So I was like, what was that? So I didn't know what it was. So I had to fix it. So anyway, let me adjust my screen here. Last week we were playing with Turtle, and then we had a little introduction with Pygame. So today's session is, of course, it's Wednesday, and we're gonna do some Pygame stuff. So it's kind of like play around. So we're gonna do some little things. So you have your Pygame here, and forgive me if I'm looking to the right. I'm checking my OBS to make sure it's monitoring okay. So I do have the chat up, so I want to make sure I'm seeing folks. Well, I thought I could see folks. Hold on. So, yep. All right. So I got the chat up. Okay. I thought I did. Yep. I got the chat up. Here's up so I can see it. Again, not an expert, not a professional on Twitch. I tell my colleagues and students from colleges and even my neighbors. So again, I just like to share. I just like to share info. So I'm kind of positioning myself in front of the camera. All right. So what we're gonna do is, last week we went into like Turtle. I used some conditional statement on keys, and I noticed that videos stay for 7 days. So I started breaking them down. So this would be my 5th video. So the others they're gone, but that's okay. Video is video. So what I'm gonna do is, as I create them, the next day I'll put them to YouTube, to the YouTube channel. And again, this was like a hobby. I was just having fun with this. So it was fun to try to find a place to store videos that I can easily go to. So if I go to GSA, all right. So there I am, GSA Media, and I did this a while ago. Okay, a while ago. So you can see GSB Media. If I can get there. Okay, so you can see I did some glasses, Legos. I talked about server hardware, even did statistics. Heck, I even got my wife on here. So again, what I'm gonna do, and I'll create playlists. So I'm gonna start pumping them in there, and have the video shorts will be just some like highlights. So if you want to see like short version, what I'm doing, you could go there, look at the link, and check it out. So this is actually telling me how to manage my videos. But what's great is, yes, I could put them like a OneDrive, Google Drive. When you put things on Google Drive, man, things get modified. You start losing the resolution. When you put it on OneDrive, and you gotta log in, log out. And the thing is, that means you can see it. So if you want to share with somebody, send them a link. After that, it just gets cumbersome. You create a Dropbox, that's something, you're sharing it out. You know what? I'll just put it somewhere on a platform, and anybody can watch it. Anybody watch it. Just go to JSA Media Technology on YouTube and look at the video. So you'll start seeing some stuff coming from Twitch going up. I'm not trying to make this like a ninth job for me, a ninth part-time job for me, where I'm just creating more stuff and just put it up there. I'm just doing this for fun, sharing information, sharing knowledge, and with everybody else. So that's what I'm doing. So I just want to make sure like everybody's up to speed on that. So I'm trying to make sure that it is live. Try to make sure this is live here. Okay. Because I don't see anyone. So hold on. Little issue there. Okay. So I'm trying to make sure folks can see me. Go to the Twitch channel. the Twitch channel. So yep. So it's working. It's working. So I just want to make sure it's working. So I don't want to be on here for all day and then it's not working. So all right. So we're gonna do some fun things today. So I don't want to talk too much. Because, it's like a place to hang out and whatever. All right, so I just double clicked on my workspace and I'm gonna create a Python file. So these are the things that we did last session. That was last Wednesday. So what did we do? We used turtle, our variable. We used the turtle screen. I showed you basically how that works because turtle was a visualization program. And of course, you want to display things, colors, background. It was nice. But then, as us as individuals, we want to push the boundaries. Hey, can we create a game on this? Like create something that's artistic, kind of funny. And of course we did. And then that grew to the point where I said, wow, I could do some like play some MP3 files. Is that where turtle? No, it's beeps. It's basically mono files and stereo, not necessarily stereo. So you're looking at different frequencies, so wave files. But when you start looking at MP3s, you're going to do MP4s. Oh, now you have a gaming engine, Pygame. So when you have Turtle, you go into Pygame. Now you got 2D. Now we got another library we're going to put in, like Arcade, or use OpenGL. Now it's just like a graphic accelerator. And then you start doing 3D models in Python. So it's like we're pushing the boundaries and we're having fun. So we're going to do some things so you can see how things can migrate. And we're going to see how long we can actually create like maybe 3 little projects. One beginners, one intermediate, and then one start getting advanced. So see if we can do this. It's just having fun. So let's say save as. And what we're going to do is I'm go here and make sure I save Python. Okay. Python. And we'll call this level 1. Level 1. So I called this level 1. So I'm gonna try to make this bigger. Oops. No, I always try to make sure you guys can see big screen. So I'm gonna close the Explorer. Okay. All right. Because I don't know what screen size you have, right? So I'm gonna do something kind of funny, like have fun with this. Okay. So where am I? Where am I here? I always gotta be careful. So, all right. So, Pygame. Now, if you want Pygame to work by default, when you install Python, and if you remember when I said, this is your extensions. If you want to install Python, type in Python. And like I said, you can use any other package, but I feel comfortable with the Microsoft version. Okay. So, I mean, Microsoft does maintain it. So they do update it. Like you can see, this was updated 2 weeks ago. They do update it. So, and then with that, Turtle comes into play. But if you want Pygame, okay, if you want Pygame, what you need to do, let's bring up the terminal, network terminal. And under the network terminal, you need to install it. So it's pip install Pygame. Now I already have it, so it's gonna say you already have it. You may have already installed the packages. Would you like to create your virtual environment? No, I don't. So it says it's already installed, downloading system. So for somebody else, like mine's quick. Yes, I have a fast connection. Some others, it may take like maybe 30 seconds, a little bit longer, but no, not more than a minute. Okay, so it'll download it and then you got it. Now, as you start wanting to do other things, like more advanced stuff, then it's gonna ask, like, especially when you do analytics, you're gonna look at a Panda, or then you go to Panda 3D, graphics in there. Go to NumPy. So you're looking at other packages that you could be using. And when I mean packages, it's lines of code that you have other organizations maintaining. And when I mean maintaining, browsers change, speeds of computers or processors, their hard drive, the GPUs. Oh, let's do this. Let's push the boundaries so we had more code. So then you get an upgrade so you can do other stuff. So we're gonna use, so in order to do Pygame, you do import Pygame. Okay, and as you can see, it's kind of it's not really green, and the reason why it's not really green is because we haven't used it yet, or we did it importing. Now, you did this with Turtle last week. You did it Turtle, so if you want to use Turtle functions, you're importing temporarily in RAM, giving yourself access to all the in this case, all the Pygame files that you would normally need. All right, so once I import, then I'm going to initialize. Okay, .init, boom. And then once I do that, you notice this is dark. It's basically green now. It's not like that shaded green or faded out green. So that's telling me, oh, this is working. Now, if I didn't do this, let me put a comment in front of here. If I didn't do that, you can see where when I start using Pygame, it's like, oh, this is not working. This can't be a variable because I have a dot here. Is it a function to another function? Well, because it's not there temporarily loaded. Okay. So again, once you import Pygame, you're gonna have all these other features that come with it, like modules. So if I put my mouse over it, you can see Pygame set of Python modules designed for writing games. All right, and like I said, Windows, Mac OS, BOS, a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so Pygame.init initializes the Pygame program for this file. So when I run it, you need to initialize. If you don't initialize it, everything you write for Pygame is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right, so let's create a window. Let's create a window screen, right? I want to make sure my face is in the circle. I'm working on this. All right, so let's create a window. So we're gonna create a window like in Turtle. We had a window box, and we have like 800 by 600, whatever, whatnot. So in this case, we're gonna make it kind of a little bit small. We'll do whatever. Let's call it a screen. Now, if you went online, you probably seen this variable a lot. You can say my screen, whatever you want, but pick a variable that it's easy for somebody else who, if you're working on a program and it's extensive and you want your partner come in and he or she's working on it, anyone else, friend, colleagues, well, create some variables where it kind of makes sense of what it's being used for. Okay, so if you don't do that, I'm like, no one knows what you have it. What you're doing, unless that's your intention. So what I'm going to do is, instead of me typing this long syntax, okay, so this long syntax, I'm going to assign it to a variable because it makes it much easier, okay, and reduces the amount of chances of me getting an error. So I'm looking at my screen. Okay, so I want to do coordinates. Now with the coordinates, I'm going to use basically screen size. So in this case, you got the double parentheses, and let's start off with 400 by 300. It's a little simple rectangle. Okay, simple rectangle. All right, so this is giving my screen size. Okay, it's giving my screen size. Now keep in mind, I haven't done anything yet. All I did was assign it to a variable. That's it. That's all I did was assign it to a variable. All right, so next I'm gonna go Pygame.display. Okay, and by the way, some of you are like, oh, how did you know this? Like, if you hit dot, you'll see all these options, okay, under Pygame. So I'm using display. There it is. The strategy means that you commonly use it, but others commonly use it as well. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, in Turtle, you typed in title. In Pygame, it said caption. So, yep, because I tend to spell that wrong. So, and let's say, let's call this my first Pygame window. Okay, my first Pygame window. So this is the title that would show up at the top. Okay, now if I hit play, look, this is what happens. You saw something probably blink real quick. Let's look on this side. Okay, it was kind of small. So let me make this bigger. Okay, you saw it blink in and out. Poof. You saw it on this side, right? So the thing is, yes, these are telling you you're running all your packages, system resources exist, hello the Pygame community, blah, blah, blah. But it closed. Well, the thing is, it popped up the window and it closed it. So we need something that's going to consistently keep it running. Keep it running. Okay. So, and by the way, when it closes, like the other thing, when you want to close your screen, what? Ooh, I spelled window wrong. When you want to close your screen, you want to make sure when you close the window, you can exit. Because sometimes if you don't have the option where you can actually close the screen at the top right corner, you're going to have to force quit. It won't close for you. So yeah, it's kind of weird how this adds up. So let's check this out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to type Pygame. Okay. .quit. Okay. And I'm going to put it down here. Now, again, all right, this is not like in Turtle. We do a main loop and it constantly loops. You can't do it here. Again, all I did is like when I close it, it doesn't stay up. So I have to force quit. Okay. That's all I did. So when I close it, it closes. It's not running in the background, taking up resources. I need to create a loop that's going to constantly keep the window open. Unlike Turtle, I just type in main loop function and it does it for me. In Pygame, it's the same thing you're going to type in every Pygame type of program where you're using a window. Okay, so I need something that's going to say running. Again, this is another variable. And we're going to create it as a Boolean. That's on, off, true, false. So in here is, hey, while the game is running, I need the screen open. So while running, okay, while running. And since I'm using a while loop, okay, I need to put a colon. That's your to do. Okay, think of to do. So if I use a for loop for a in range to do, or if statement, you need to do. All right, so in this case, for running, while running, I'm gonna say for event, okay, in Pygame, okay, dot event, dot get, okay. Now, again, remember I said the for loop? So it's like a loop within the loop, right? And then I have a conditional statement. So event dot type, oops, okay, is equal, not equal, is equal to Pygame, okay, dot quit, okay, ooh, okay, dot quit. Again, remember it's if, it's another two. So you got a while loop, a for loop, and an if conditional statement. Okay, so if my event type is equal to Pygame.quit, that's the event. How is the state of my window? Then if it's quit, that means running should be false. Is equal to false. Okay. Okay. So that tells me, and if it's false, everything shuts down. Okay. So this is what keeps the window open. Okay. This is what keeps the window open. This statement right here, that keeps the window open. And of course, the Boolean. That's it. It keeps the window open. So it's like for every program, there's a way you could assign this all into a function and kind of make it shorter. You just call it. But anyway, so let's fill the screen. Oh, let's see. So you can actually see what it looks like. All right. So check this out. Okay. See? There's the window. So the minute I put that while loop, then of course for loop. Now, by default, black screen. Okay, black screen. And then of course, my first game, the title. So let me zoom in so you guys can actually see it. I'm gonna zoom in. There you go. My first game. Okay, so making sure you guys can see it. My first game window. Now, some people say they thought that was a turtle. No, that's actually a snake. That's a Python. So everybody's like, what is that? By default, that's what shows up. But there's a way you could put your own icon in there. Welcome to Pygame. All right, now remember, I'm in the while loop. So while I'm in the while loop, this is where you would write all your program, your entire program for your program that you're trying to create, like your game that you're trying to create. Do not go here. That means now you're outside the while loop. This is outside the while loop. That's the only thing you need to be outside the while loop. So anything referring to your game should be inside the while loop. Okay, what inside the while loop? So while it's running, what do I do? Let's fill the screen. Okay, so now I have a black background, right? By default. So let's say I do 255, comma 255, comma 255. Okay. So 0, comma 0, comma 0 is black. All of it is white. Now, even if I made this 0 and this 0, you know that's red, RGB. If I had this 0 and this middle 255 and this was 0, RG, that's green. And then vice versa, of course, that would be blue. All right. So I have this. All right. Now, if I run it, will it work? There's some other things I want to do because it's not there. Okay. I'm just saying it's not there. Okay. So some people are like, what? What else? Well, how come it's not there? All right. So we're missing this. Okay. Pygame dot display. Okay. Dot flip. I was asked, like, what does flip mean? It's like refreshing your screen. Okay. So when you refresh your screen, it's going to completely refresh your screen with that color. Okay. With that color. Okay. Now, let's say I want to create like a table or something. Like, you want to draw something. All right. Pygame. Okay. Dot draw. Okay. And where is it going to be? Okay. So I'm going to put it in. I'm looking at here. All right. So remember screen. Screen is looking at the top. Remember screen at the top. It was pygame.display.set mode. I'm looking at the screen size. So look at the screen size. Okay. And I'm going to have a color. And that's green or RGB. We just talked about that. And inside that, hold on. Okay. Oops. Okay. I want the size. Like what? Check it out. 180 by 130. And then I got a 40 by 40. All right. Everybody's like, what is that? Poof. All right. So I got 180. I got the color. Then I got the size. Okay. Well, not the size. The color, the location, and then the size. All right. So let's say I do this. Let's say I do 50. All right. I want you to see this. Okay. You notice it's closer. Okay. I just want to say you notice it's closer, right? So let's say I put 300. Oh, not 3,000. And then I put 30. Okay. See, 300 moved over and 30 moved up. Okay. I just want you to see the difference. So you know this affects your location. Now, how about this? Okay. This would be what? Check it out. The shape. Okay. So the shape. So now you know this is the location, this is the shape, and this is the color. What's 255, 255 look like? Just curious. I don't memorize all these stuff. It'll be yellow. It'll be low. Let's say this is 80 and this is 90. All right. Give me kind of like a soft red, almost pink wise. Okay. So again, if you're not sure of colors, by the way, you could go to color picker. If I remember, I told you guys, let's go to color picker. Okay. So if I want like something like yeah, this is a nice color. It's like soft. It's like forest green. No, forest green is like, yeah, there's like cash green, right? There's my RGB colors. 836 4. All right. So if you guys see it, let me shrink this up and bring it up. Oh, man. Hold on. All right. So 836 4, right? So my color 836 4. All right. So check it out. There's that cash green. Okay, so there you go. So at least you know those are colors. All right, so this is Pygame. So we got our title, we got a screen size, you can do all that stuff with. All right, now check it out. All right. What if we add something else? Okay. What if we add something else? Okay. Some people say, what? What if we get it to move? You're like, what? What? Yeah, what if we get it to move? All right. So we got this, right? Pygame net. We got your screen size. We got our one running. So we don't need to do anything here. So we need to do something in here, right? So what we're trying to do is set up controls. Okay. I hate using the backspace or the space key. I hate doing that. All right. So what we want to do, we want to use key controls. So like in Turtle, we did the on key. So in this, in Pygame, we'll do if event dot type is equal to Pygame dot key down. Look at this. Look, it's already there for me. It knows. And then some people's like, key up, escape, mouse button. What? All right. So let's say key down. Okay, we're going to do key down. So what do you want it to do? We wanted to print, okay, a key was pressed. Now, I was want to know, like, where are you going to put that at? Where are we going to put that at, right? So, please like where, all we know is going to key down, it's going to detect. What's going to do? So if I do this, right? Okay, I got this. All right, I got this. And if I had like a key down, look, key was pressed. Key was pressed. So that means I can actually create some controls in here, right? I can actually create some controls in here. It's like you start thinking, like, what can I do? What can I do? All right. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna, ooh, I thought I was typing. I'm like busy typing. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna put some controls. So we got import Pygame, we got initialize, we got screen display. We're gonna do some controls. So what we wanna do is kind of position where our square is gonna be, right? We're gonna position where our square is gonna be. So this is before the while running, all right? So I'm just gonna create some variables, and I don't wanna ever create new variables in here because remember, it's constantly running, and the variables won't change. It'll just go back to the way it was. So I'm going to do an X, all right? And we'll do 180. And then do a Y equals. And then we're going to do, let's say do 130. It's not what we used before. And then the size. Size is 40. And then we're going to do a speed. Like, what? Speed. Basically, it's how many pixels it will move across the screen. Okay? So we'll start off with 10. Of course, the higher the number, it's skipping. The lower the number is scrolls. Okay, so it's gonna go every 10 pixels, thinking of every 10 spaces. All right. So we have running still, or while running, that we don't change, and we have in Pygame event. This whole thing always gonna stay there, right? And if in event type equals Pygame key down. All right. So what we're gonna do, instead of printing, right? Instead of printing, what we're gonna do is, because we said key down. So we're in the mode where we're listening. What? We're listening, right? We're listening. So we event, okay, key, all right? Because we said in event, what's the event we're looking for? Key. So a key on the keyboard. So Pygame, and what do you want to use? All right, so we hit dot. What options do we have? We got K left, K right, up, down. So this would be that left arrow. So if the left arrow is pressed, X, okay, remember my X up here? My X is 180 because my arrow, I have a line going up and down. That's why left and right is X. So if I'm going to the left, minus, right, equals. So that means whatever number it is, it's gonna say X, not X, X equals X minus 1, okay? So in this case, it's like minus 180, right? So now the thing is, no, not minus 180. It's gonna be X equals X minus 1. So it's gonna be X minus whatever I do. If I do just X minus, it's just subtracts 1. But if I do minus equals, it's looking for a number that's going to subtract it. So it's going to be x equals x minus a number. What are we using? Speed. What? Yeah, because we're going to go that way. All right. So I'm not typing that. I'm going to type speed. Okay. So, and enter. So every time I hit left, it's going to subtract it. All right. And we're going to test this here, right? So if I do that, so what am I doing? Well, I got my screen filled. That stays the same. And I have my screen. That's my screen color, right? But this, remember how I typed the numbers in here and it moved it across the screen? Okay. So what am I do? And these were the size of my cube. Now, what was the size? It's 40, right? So I'm just going to type the word size. Okay. Because size for right now is equal to what? 40. Okay. So it's 40 and 40. This here, all right, it's going to be my X, and this is going to be my Y, okay? Because if I'm using left, then it's going to minus it 10 going to the left direction, all right? So let's check it out, okay? So I got this here. So I go left, 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 left. Now right, up, down doesn't work. But if I go left, 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 there it is, okay? So it's going to the left. Crazy, right? So if I got this, now to do the others, it's going to be a lot easier, right? So remember, you're going to do, well, if event dot key is equal to Pygame dot, and now I'm going to go right, okay? What do you want it to do? Well, it's going to be X plus equals speed, okay? All right. And then if you want to test it, run it. Okay. So you got left, right, left. Now, man, we don't have no up and down yet. Okay. So in this case, if event dot key is equal to Pygame dot, and this is going to be up. Oh man, I love Visual Studio Code. This time we're going to use Y. So Y is going up. So that's plus equals speed. Okay. All right. And then of course, if event dot key is equal to Pygame dot key down. Okay. To do, and that's gonna be Y minus minus equals speed. Okay, so again, test it, right? All right, so I got up. Oh, I'm going down. Oh, it's like one of those inverted things, right? So this is minus and this is plus. See that, you guys? That's why it's always good to test. All right, so got my window, up, down. Okay, now you notice this is on key down. Okay, on key down. Okay, on key down. So you probably does. So I would have to keep typing, right? I would have to keep typing. So I would have to like. Okay, so how can I put it? If you want to kind of make it whatever, you could do all that type of stuff. Like you could do like on release it goes left, on right. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. You can change the speed to make it go faster. Like remember up here, if I had it set to for 50, okay, poof, I hit play, and I'm gonna put my window. Then see how it's skipping. Okay. So you can increase the speed and all that type of stuff. Now, let's say I wanted to increase the speed. What? Okay, right now speed is 50, right? Remember, these are just variables. It runs through it once and that's it. After that, this is what's running. So you could actually say if event dot key is equal Pygame dot, And let's say I want to say, I've tried to use a symbol. I'm gonna say key, and I'm looking for the greater than sign. No, not that. Trying to look for. It would be period, right? Hold on. Try to. What I want to do is create something. Period and comma. Okay, there it is. So if I click the period, right? If I click the period, so that means speed is gonna change. So speed, okay. If I click the period, because that's greater than a sign, right? Plus equals, okay. Speed's gonna change, right? Speed's gonna change. I'm gonna change it to, man, let's go up by, because if it goes, let's start at 5. Okay, let's go by 5. Now, if that's the case, I want to slow it down. If event.key is equal to Pygame.k, and I did a comma, right? That's a comma. Okay, there it is. Now, I'm not gonna pretend to type it, because then I'm like, what if I spell it wrong? And then I'm wondering what's going on. Equals is 5. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is the comma is to slow it down, period is to speed it up. All right, so I'm gonna move. Okay, so if I slow it up, yep, there you go. So I can speed it up. So I can speed it up, slow it down. That's the magic. That's what's awesome about creating variables. So I use that to slow it down, speed it up. So you could do certain things, right? You could do a lot of certain things. So again, I'm looking at the time. Wow, man, time's go by fast. So you're probably thinking, okay, is there anything else we could do? Yeah, we could do a whole bunch of stuff. So let's see. I'm trying to think to add some more stuff. So let's say we want to add some type of sound. Okay, we want to add sound. All right. So remember in Turtle we did wind sound, right? We did wind sound, but in Pygame is a little different. Okay, so it's a little different. So what I'm gonna do is we can go to let's go to a site called free sound. Yep, that'll work. Okay. Now I like to go to Pixabay. They have special effects. It's free. So if I'm looking at this, right, I'm looking for sounds. Now with free sounds, you can do all types of stuff, right? So let's say we're looking for siren. This got to be a WAV file. Okay, so I'm looking for, what's this? Taiwan ambulance. Okay, because I don't know what that is. All right, and then you have dub stop, siren hose, siren ghost. So I'm gonna say to myself, can I download it? All right, can I download it? What else is in here? Well, let's take siren hose. All right. Now, I'm looking for a WAV file. So when I'm downloading, usually they're really pretty good about telling you what it is. But most of the files here are WAV files. So this is a WAV file. All right, let me go back. It is a WAV file. It says WAV on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in. All right. Yeah, I know. I got to log in. Don't want to show you my stuff. So I logged in, and thank you, sir. I mean, I saw 150 people download it, so I thank you, G Moritz Waves. So I'm gonna download the sound. So I downloaded the sound. So usually I always tell students, hey, test it, make sure it works. Okay. So make sure it works. Make sure it works. So I downloaded the sound. So what I'm gonna do, like in my folder, there's my folder, that's my file. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up my file explorer. Okay. And I'm gonna go to my downloads. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag it to Visual Studio Code. All right in the same direction, because that's where my level 1 is. And there it is. And I could test it to make sure it works. Okay. And then now that is a long name. That is a long name. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rename it. That is long. So I'm gonna say Ghost. That's one of those things I tell my students. And when you rename a file here, it renames it in File Explorer. So because remember, this is Explorer. So what I tell students, like, man, those long names, come on. So all I did was I downloaded this file from Freesound, freesound.org. Sign in, it's free. Folks are sharing files, this and that. They just ask for donations. But anyway, if I want to play a sound, I could go to the top. Again, I'm not doing it in the while loop, because you're gonna hear beep, 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 beep. It's gonna repeat so fast. You're like, it makes no sense. It's just gonna go crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I have my variables, okay, and I'm just gonna create something that's gonna actually play my sound. So I'm gonna assign it to a variable. So I'm gonna say alert, okay, sound, because we created a SI, right? All right, and it's gonna be Pygame, and I'm gonna use another package in the Pygame library. So it's called Mixer, okay, and then sound, all right, and so it's like package with another package, okay. Now inside, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type it. Where is it? GHOST.wave. Okay. Now I don't have to put my root directory or anything in here. Let me zoom out. I don't have to put my root directory in here whatsoever, unless I had it in a separate folder. So if you're creating a game, or especially a project, you want to keep all your assets in different folders. Yeah, don't put a folder within the folder within the folder within the folder. One folder is enough. So I have an asset for pictures that you can use for frames, assets for sounds like music, audio sounds like music, special effects. Then fine. But if you're doing something simple, you could keep them in the same folder, because that's what's going to look for. Now, as your program gets bigger, it's always good to start notating stuff. So you could say like this, remember the # or the hashtag. You can say this is my window setup. Okay, so it could be for the next person that comes in. They see it, they're like, oh, my window set up. And this is for my alert music or alert sound effect. Alert sounds. Okay, oops. Man, I can't type that. I have these fat fingers. So you can put comments to help you remember. And then you put more comments there. All right. So it allows you to kind of keep control of stuff, so you can see what is going on. Okay. All right. So we have our variables. We have our events, stuff like that. Now, if by some chance, depending where you want it to play, okay. Now remember, we have it. We have it here. Okay, we have it here. So what we're gonna do is, because we have it as an alert sound. Okay, an alert sound. All we gotta do is make sure we set up the sound. Okay, remember the sound event. So in this case, you probably think a sound event. Yeah. So under here, okay, it's under your F. You got your key down. All right, got a key down. So we got your left, right. So we want something that the minute we start hitting our keys, all right, the minute we start hitting your keys, again, the minute you start hitting your keys, the minute you start hitting your keys. So we have event key. Oh no, we don't want it there. Okay, so we want it here. Okay, so again, as soon as I have it here, okay, we want it there. We're gonna do, what do I call it? Alert. Yep, alert sound. Okay. Now remember, when I use this, it's actually running this. Okay. So what I want to do is alert sound dot. There he goes. Play. Use the play function. Okay. So this right here is displaying this, and poof, there's the play function, and it'll play it. Okay. So again, we have that. It's gonna be kind of weird. Like when I see it, like here when I play. Ooh, I got an error. Ooh, I got an error. Hold on. Let me try to clean this up. I got an error. Got my flip. That was kind of quick. Let's run it. What's good about Visual Studio Code, it'll give me some error messages so I can see what's going on. File not found. Well, there it is. Didn't I put it in there? I put it in there. Don't tell me I. Ghost.wave. And oops. And it's ghost.wave. I spelled it right. Okay. Man, not on my screen again. All right, so working directory first project. For some reason, it can't find it. Okay, so I did move it into that folder. Oh, wait a minute. My interpreter is not in here. My interpreter is in my first project. So let's move it. Okay. And then I'll play it. The interpreter is when you run your program, when you run your Python program, it'll actually play it in the directory, basically my virtual environment, if you remember. So my virtual environment for opening files it's inside my first project, not within others. So there's an example. So if you want to move it somewhere, if you want to move it back in here, so if I do it back in there, okay, what I have to do, where is it? Where did I put all that? Okay, what do I have to do is I need to kind of make that change. So in this case, boom, this should work. Nope. No. I'm gonna type the whole path in there. Okay. Python session 2. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to type the whole path in there, but now you guys get it. You get the gist of it. Okay. So we just added a sound in there. Okay. So we just added a sound there. So what if, okay, what if we wanted to do something else? All right, we got that. Let's say we wanted to move a character. I mean, that's simple, right? We did a background, we did block, moving around. Well, that's when you start getting like little fancy. Okay. So, and by the way, if you wanted to increase the size, like remember, X is 180, Y is 130. All right, you would create more keys because remember, size is here, right? No, 130, size is 40. So if you wanted to increase the size, you can still do that, right? So if I want to increase the size, hey, let's see how this works. If event.key is equal to Pygame dot, let's see what size, L for large and K for small. Okay, so that's key, and let's say L for large. I should just type L. All right, and that'll be size minus equal, no, big, plus is equal to, I'm trying to think, when it go up by, hey, you know what? Let's go up by 10, see what it looks like, see what happens. And then we could do if event dot key is equal to Pygame dot k underscore and k for smaller. Okay, size minus equal 10. Okay, this will be interesting, right? So check it out. So let's see if it works. I like pushing the boundaries. So we had, hey, let's say we go past that. Probably get an error. Yeah. So it went to nothing and it added back, going back in. So we can start moving around, right? So again, having fun. You can create controls, all right, using keys. But anyway, what I wanted to do is take you to a site. So let's say we want to do like freebies, like freebies. Now there's a section you can go to. It's called freebies. And I'm trying to bring it up on my browser. It's like it's free game assets. It's great. I use it for my students at the college level and at the high school. Now, some parents may think, oh, they're not learning it. Well, yes, they're learning more about logic because now they're motivated. So this is a great area where you can actually get free assets just to play around, and like free Red Hat. When I say Red Hat, you see this guy, you see all these sprites. Okay, so you got the idle mode, run, slide, jump, hurt, and then you got dead, right? So it gives you ideas like how can I do this? And when you get good at this, now I mean you got a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Okay, and you got backgrounds. Okay, like tiles, like ooh wow. Okay, you got tiles, and you got free gaming assets like buttons that show up like for menus for games and stuff. This is what we're gonna do next Wednesday, because they'll get you like really going. Like, oh man, this is awesome. This is awesome. All right, get you going. And then you got other types of things like you get like, oh, I want to try this or try that. Now they have stuff that you can pay for. I mean, I've seen some stuff like they got a whole thing in here. Okay, they got a whole thing in here. The prices are pretty reasonable, but it's like a whole packet. Okay, so you have a lot of stuff like from all different animals, all their sprites. So you can actually create your own game. Now, depending on who you are, you probably can mix and match them. So you can do different things. Like you get lizards, monsters, ninja, SWAT team. Do something next to you, they got your own game. So there's other sites that you can go to. This is one of the safe sites you can actually go to and download stuff. So like I said, you could have a lot of things. But like I said, with the freebies, that's here. The graphic user interfaces, like buttons. If you want certain like slot machines moving around, that you can have literally fun with this. All right, so let's go to freebies. So I'm gonna go with the robot. Okay, so I'm gonna download this guy. So I have the idle, shoot, run. I don't know. This is melee. Run, shoot, jump, melee, jump, shoot, slide, and dead. So I'm gonna download. So 10 animation states. All right, and they're PNG files. Okay, PNG files. All right, so it's all by zip folder. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, all right, let's see how do we show a picture. Okay, and oh man. Okay, so remember, I'm gonna go into my folder. Okay, I'm gonna go to my folder. I'm gonna go to my downloads. Okay, I'm gonna go to my downloads, and I'm gonna unzip it. Okay, now unzip it and pretty much extract all. Okay, I'm gonna extract it. So I'm extracting it. Okay, so if I have it's all in my PNG, right? It's all called robot free. Robot free. Okay, so it's all my PNG. So I'm gonna throw my PNG in here. So there's my PNG folder. So all my assets are in there. All right. So I'm closing it. All my assets are in here. So I'm gonna open it up, and there's all my sprites. All right. That's all my images. And then objects, you have other stuff. Bullet, muzzle, this and that. Okay. So if I want to see what this is, okay, that's dad. Okay. Now if you notice how it's set up, right? Did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can actually create a loop. Okay. But anyway, I have my PNG. I got idle. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use Pygame, all right, to display a picture. Okay. We're gonna use Pygame to display a picture. So let's go in here. Okay. We got our sound, right? I'm not gonna play the sound a lot, so I'm gonna comment it out. And then since I commented out here, I'm commenting out there. All right. Because I want to keep playing. All right. So what I'm going to do is I want an image, right? I want an image. So let's create a variable image. Keep it simple. Pygame. All right. Dot image. Okay. Dot load. And we're going to load the image. Now the image we're loading, let's do idle. Okay, so we're gonna do idle. Okay, .png. I don't know. There's a space. So hold on. Now you can always clean it up. But I always check to see if there's a space there. Okay. No, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it because I always wanted to play with this and see if this actually works. Okay, so I got an image. Okay, I set it to a variable. All right, so I want to display the image. So we're gonna display the image under fill. Okay, we're gonna display the image under fill. So we're not gonna have the rectangle anymore. The rectangle is gone. So this baby is gone. We're not using it anymore. All right, so I don't need a cube because we got a character. So screen, okay, dot blit, okay, and it's image, okay, comma. Now it's looking at the variable, right? And this is gonna be the size of the image, 150 because it's tall. Do we want it fat? Let's see what this looks like. We're gonna see what it looks like because the X is how wide it is. Let's do 130, comma 150. We're just gonna see how it looks. All right, we may have to reverse it, but the X is like stretch it and we can see how it looks. So I got an image. Now, you remember last time? We're gonna see if this works because it could be in the wrong directory. Now, in this case, all right, my image is in the PNG folder. Okay, remember the PNG folder? So I'm gonna do /PNG. Now I'm wondering if I need to do the Python session too. I probably do. Yep. So it can't find it, right? So now the one reason why, because this space, I'm wondering it's gonna act up, right? Because I remember last time when I did this long time ago, I had to take the space out. So I'm wondering if the space. No, I found it. Okay. Now I need to make my screen a little bigger. Okay. Okay, I need to make my screen a little bigger because I wanted to go, you know. So let's do 1080, 800. Okay, so there you go. All right, so that's not bad. All right, not bad. All right, so I want to make sure I save it. Yeah, it saves every time I save it. All right, so I have my image. So what I'm gonna do, okay, man. I'm like typing. I'm like lost. When I get lost in here, I'm just typing. What I want to do is I want to display the image that's here, but I want to display it where it's going to play all of them. All right. So if I'm here, if I go down, okay, poof, poof, it's going to look like it's breathing. So I need all of them in there. So it's almost like I need to create a list, right? So I need a list of all this, but I don't want to do that. So I want to create a loop. So check this out. Remember, I was like, your images are in frames. So, and I need to time them too. I want to clock it. So I got where am I going to put it? So I have this here. So what I'm going to do is, and let me get rid of the alerts because I'm not going to use that anymore. Okay. But I wanted to show you how you can do sounds. So I'm going to do clock. Okay. Equals Pygame. Okay. Dot time. Okay. Now, dot time is timing how fast between images is going to switch. So if I'm looking at one image, you want to do like pause. So you want to go. So it's like smooth, right? So those are the settings you would have to work with. Oh, I put CO. So we need a timer on it. So it's going to tell us how many frames. All right, so we got that. We got the clock. Then we're going to create a list, all right? And that's where an array comes in, okay? Because I have how many images? I don't want to keep putting the same file over and over. I want to type that stuff in. What I'm going to do is I know my files go from idle 1 through 10. Okay, idle 1 through 10. Now keep in mind, this file that I'm using, this program I'm using, I could probably technically use it for other projects because all I'm doing is changing the character, right? Or I could do different levels. So I got frames. I'm gonna set up, I'm setting an array. So I'm gonna do for I in. I is just the standard variable that you're using for for loops. You could use for variable. If you're not sure what you're gonna use it for, and you just want something just standard. So in this case, range, and I wanna go from, now I wanna go from 1, comma, and I'm gonna go to 10, all right? So I gotta wanna go to 10, because I have 10 files. I have 10 files, right? Yeah, I was trying to make sure I didn't have a 0 in there. So I got 1 to 10, all right? So what am I gonna do? So it's gonna do 1 to 10. That means it's gonna go around 10 times, all right? Starting at 1, and it's gonna end at 10. And then it's gonna keep going. So what am I loading? I'm loading the image. I'm loading the image. Pygame image.load. So every time it loops, it's gonna put it in here, okay? So now here. Now that means I need to do something with this because I don't want this to be 11 times. I want it to look for it. So that means I need to change the format. You're like, what? Because each file is going 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't want to say 1 here, okay? I want it to say something else. So remember the variables? So if I'm going to use some type of custom variable, I need to do what's called like an F. It's format. Format means I'm using like a template, like a word template, and I'm gonna have like a mailing list insert. So in here, since it's only this is gonna change, it's gonna be curly bracket, and I'm gonna use the I. So I is gonna be 1, right? So poof. So what that does is this. When it goes the first time, it's gonna look for idle1.png. Then it goes around the second time, it's gonna look for idle2 because it's doing it in a loop. So it's gonna grab all 10 images, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, it's gonna append them in this list, and we're gonna call it frames, okay? Dot append, okay? And what are we appending? The image. So this is this. Created an empty container. It's an array. Not my less, all right? It's an array. It's an empty container. I'm gonna go through all the images one by one, and I'm gonna add it to my array, all right? So eventually this array is gonna have all 10 images in it, okay? So now you have all 10 images in it. What are you gonna do? Well, we wanna be able to grab each one, starting from frame index, which is record 0, 0. So we need frame index. Okay, so you might as well call it frame index equals 0. All right. And then we want to do a delay, all right, between images because we want to make it smooth. Again, everything is different, so we may have to change it. Now, why did I pick 8? I just picked a random number. Now, the higher the number, faster it's going to go. It's going to go through images quicker, remember? Or the slower the number, the lower the number, animation. Slow the animation. So we're going to go up. So now we're going to do a frame count. Why the frame count? Well, because once it gets to the end, we want it to go back to the beginning. Remember, this is loading all the images in this array. Then we have to do a frame count, all right? Equals, we're gonna say 0, okay? Because once it gets to 10, we want it to loop, go around again, all right? So that's what we're doing. So this is staying the same. Where are we gonna position the movement? In other words, we're gonna do this again, all right? Remember our character, X 180, 130, 40 size, it's still gonna be the same. No, we don't need the size. That is gone. Okay, the speed, we'll leave it at 50, okay? Now, again, you still have the while loop that's still running. Now, below the while loop, okay? Below the while loop, we want the clock, okay? The clock. So as far as tick, 60 frames per second, okay? Okay, so that's how many frames per second. So it's gonna be 60 frames per second. So we want it to look, now you can probably change it to 90, 40. It is up to you, okay? It is up to you where you wanna do that. So far I got everything. We got our controls, that's gonna stay the same. Now you're probably thinking, are we moving stuff? Check it out. Now, right now, we're looking at the logic for our animation, okay? So we know we're above the screen, okay? The screen down here is just fill in the background color. So we're looking at, we got our controls. We're trying to figure out, okay, we want to grab the image that's in the array, okay, one at a time with the delay. And then when it gets to the end, we're gonna change the frame count back to 0, so it goes. So here's your frame count: 1, 2, 3, 4. It's starting at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it comes back because we know how many records we have. How do we know how many records are? We're gonna use this called len. Len means length. We're gonna see how many images we have in that array. Okay, so we're gonna do a frame count. Okay, we're doing frame count. And remember, plus equals 1, okay? Frame count plus equals 1. And then we're saying if frame count, I don't know how I'm getting an error. I thought I signed it. Did I say frame count equals 0? Unless I spelled it wrong. Frame count equals 0. Frame count. Did I spell it wrong? This thing is so buggy. It's so buggy. I'm just telling you, it's so buggy. I told you I hate hitting spaces. Hate hitting spaces. All right, frame count greater than equal, okay, to frame delay. Okay. And then we're gonna do frame index, okay, is equal to frame. Now, you're gonna use the same thing for every bit of animation you ever do, okay? So it's like, copy the script, you do it so many times, you'll have it memorized. Now, keep in mind, we're trying to see, hey, once we get to the end, we don't want any decimals, we're looking for whole numbers. We want to see how many frames we have, and we're gonna do a count. So we're gonna do, starting at 0, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? And once it gets to the end, we're gonna do the frame count back to 0 again. So that's gonna create that loop, okay? So we got screen fill. This is the animation logic. This is the animation part. Screen fill, all right? That's our background. Now we got our blend. Now we're not using image anymore. All right, we're not using image. What are we using? We're using frames. We're using frames, but we're looking for the array. Okay, so remember, if I use frames, all right, if I use frames, I want to know what record I'm in. Am I in frames 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, because that's what's going to be looking for. So here in this case, I'm looking for my frame index, okay, which starts off at 0, which would be idle1.png. Okay, so I got my frame index, and then I close my array. Okay, that's it. And then instead of putting numbers here, I'm just gonna put X and just put Y. Oops, not yield. Because my X and Y is up here, 180 times 130. Okay, so got my animation logicals, still good at frames, and I should be good to go. I don't think I left anything out. All right. I mean, check it out. It's pretty good. Do I need to adjust anything? Now, you're probably wondering, yo, what's this? Remember moving up and down? Okay. So I got this now. I got that. Now, if I wanted to, since I'm now doing great, it's idle, like, yeah. Now, if I wanted to move to the right, that means I needed to run. Or that means I needed to run. Okay. And it's 1 through 8. Okay. It's 1 through 8. All right. So the thing is, what do you want to do? Well, it's going to have to use another array. Now, here's the thing. If it's idle, boom, it's going to run this. Okay. If it's idle. If I'm using a key, as long as I'm using the key, it's going to run in that direction. Well, if you went to the right and then you want to go to the left, what do you got to do? If I'm going to the right, it's going to run in that direction. If I'm going to the left, it's going to the left direction. So what I'm looking at the time. Oh my gosh. Look at the time. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to see how fast I can do this. All right. So without confusing anybody. So, oh my gosh. Oh my God, did I press this? Okay, all right, no. So what I want to do is I need something. Oops. I need something that's actually going to show me when I press a key. So that could be the right arrow key to animate the images. Okay, so oh my gosh. So an idle. So I need to say something when it's not moving. Okay, display idle images. So when it's running, play the animated images. So when I press right, that means it's pressed, and I'm going to play the animated images going to the right. If I let go, then it's going to play the idle. Okay, so again, you have your run. Okay, run 1 through 8. Okay, so you got your run. So what I want to do is I have everything here. Everything stays the same. This was great. This was awesome. You got your clock that stays, but you need something for idle. Okay, so we're saying right now it's playing our idle images no matter what. All right, if I hit my right key, it's still idle. It's playing my idle images. So I need something that says, hey, we need to separate for each other, idle and moving. So let's create a variable, and we're going to call it idle. All right, so this is idle image. Okay, so idle image. Now the idle image is going to play, how can I put it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. I got idle image. Yeah, our idle image is this because I'm going nuts. I'm going nuts. So this is our idle image. So I'm going to copy all this. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. Hold on. I'm trying to think. So I know I need to change this. So let's call this run frames. Okay. Okay. I'm like doing this. Run frames, image. I thought I was typing. Hold on. I'm glad I wasn't typing. I was just like pasting it all over the place. So hold on. Okay, so idle frames. So I needed idle images. Okay. So I needed an array for idle images. So this would be this here. Okay, so this is for my idle. So I got for I in range 1 to 11, right? No, it's 1 to 10. 1 to 10. So these are my idle frames. So here I have, instead of image, is going to be idle frames. Okay, my idle frames. Ooh. Hold on. Idle frames dot append. So I want to do it right away. All right, I want to do it right away. So idle frames, image frames. No image frames. It would be idle frames. I'm like going nuts. You can see how this starts going stuff, right? So idle frames, empty container, doing a loop, 1 to 10. So let's grab all my idle frames, right? It's going to add all my idle frames and append it. Okay, so it's going to be pygame dot image dot load, and it's going to have all my idle frames in here. Okay, so all my idle frames in there. So I'm thinking, hold on, I got a parentheses there. That's why I got it. Error. Poof. Okay, so I got that. So I don't need this anymore. Okay, I don't need that anymore. But I need to do another one. Run, okay, run frames equals empty container. So I need to do, oops. Now, it doesn't matter if I use the same variable. You could use something different, but it doesn't matter. For I, because you can only do it one at a time. You're not doing both at the same time. Range, and my run is 1 to 8. 1, 8. All right, so I got my 1 to 8. And there's my to do there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is my run underscore frames, okay, dot append, okay, and this is like the shortest way of doing this because I'm trying to think what else. Image, all right, and it'd be dot load. Okay, so I'm loading into memory, loading into my array. So that's gonna be my Python. I'm gonna copy the same thing here. Copy. And I'm gonna put it here. Oh, all right, but it's not gonna be idle. It's gonna be run. Okay. All right, so it's gonna run, and yes, there are spaces there, so I should be good. All right, so it's gonna run it. So that's my 1 through 8. Okay, so I think I'm good. So I got my idle. I need idle index equals 0, and run index equals 0. Okay. And I still have my frame delay. I don't need a frame index equals 0. So got my frame delay. We'll leave that at 8. We can make adjustments. My XY, I have 180. Since I got a lot more lines, I'm going to shorten it. So XY, I'm doing this on the same color. So is 130. So I'm trying to, oops, come on. So I'm putting more lines of code. I'm trying not to put more lines of code. Now my speed, since it's moving, it's running. Now I can adjust this because we want to see how it's going to look. But now when it's going to the right, I want moving to the right. Because again, and then moving to the left is easier because all it is a flip. Okay, false. Okay, so if it's not moving, okay, if it's not moving, then it's idle. Now running equals true, that same thing. While running, okay, so I got my clock tick. I got my Pygame.event, so that's fine. Oops. Okay. Ooh. Now, if moving right, oh, don't want the sound. Remember, I got the sound out of there. If moving, key down. All right. So I want to do if event dot key. No, I already have it. I don't have to type anything. It's already there. So what I'm gonna do is key right. Okay, I don't need the move speed anymore. So I'm gonna say moving right equals true. Okay, don't need that. So if it's moving right equals true. I put it in the wrong spot. Poof, 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 poof. Because I'm going to test this. Moving right equals true. Okay. It's moving right equals true. Okay. So everything else is going to stop. If it stopped moving, PKB blue, then so I'm not going to do Y speed. So if it's key up, if event dot key is equal to Pygame dot key right, okay, colon, then I'm gonna have moving right is equal to false, so it's not moving anymore. Okay, and then it's gonna do run index. There we go. Run index equals false. Okay, so no, run index is 0. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if I have that, okay, I should be good. I'm gonna get rid of these because I don't need them anymore because we're gonna make some changes. Okay, because we're just testing it. So, so key down. Okay, I'm gonna take the left out. So I'm trying to make sure this all works. I don't want to leave anything broken there. If key down, okay. If event right, moving right equals true. So it's gonna do right. If it's up, if event equals up, moving right equals false, running is 0. All right, so it's gonna be set. All right, so try to think. So, okay, so if, okay, hold on. One index, I'm trying to think. All right, so we're gonna do movement. So it's running, we're gonna move them. Moving, right, okay. If it's moving right, then it's X plus equals to speed. So we got the animating part. Now, if it's moving right, that's where we're going to. So we know if it's moving right, X plus speed. Now, if we got the frame count, we got your timing, so you got your frame count, plus equals 1. And if frame count is greater than equals frame delay, so this should be gone. This should be gone. Frame count and delay. Frame counts here. Yeah, this is gone. Should be frame count equals 0. All right, so if moving right, boom. So if it's moving right, we got to do the run index. Because remember, it's moving right. That means it's running. Equals, this is where we're actually like doing the timing thing. Running, no, it's run index. Okay, run index plus every other image. This is what we did before. And we're doing the length of our run frames. Okay, when we do the reverse, when we do the reverse, like if it's going the opposite way, that's easier because all you're gonna do is like mirror. You're gonna mirror every image that's displayed. That's what's like easier going left. So else, okay, if it's not moving, else it's idle. Index, all right, equals, all right, the idle index, okay, plus 1, because that's got to be animating. Okay, and we're going to do the length of idle frames, because how many images we have in line first. So you can see it's that kind of same thing. If we're moving right, you're going to play this. Else, doing that. Now, if we're moving left, you think you're doing the same thing, but you're not, because we don't have a left image. You're going to play this again, but it's mirrored. Okay, yeah, I know, right? It's crazy, but it's mirrored. So I'll show you in a second. All right, so we got that. All right, so we got that. Now, what if? Oh yeah, we gotta draw the image. So if moving, if moving right. Okay, we gotta draw it. So current image is equal to run frames. Okay, index, because we gotta run on the frames. Run index. Okay. Else. Okay. Current image is equal to idle frames. Square bracket. Was it idle index? So this is gonna tell us which picture to draw. Okay, which picture to draw. So screen fill, that's our background color. Screen blit. Now we're not using this because we're using this. All right, because look, we loaded up all our images here. Okay, it's all in run frames. Okay, and then here we're saying when to start playing it. Now the thing is, we're doing moving right. When you're moving right equals true. So when it's moving right, if moving right, boof, that's the speed. Okay. Oh, darn it, I'm glad I reviewed this. Okay. All right. So we got our frame count because we need to know how many frames. And then down here, we said, if moving right, run these frames because this is all coming from here. If not, okay, that's else, then load the idle. Ooh, did I put idle? Did I spell that right? Did I put idle? I just noticed the idle spelled. I did. Oh my gosh. Ah, you know what? It worked fine. It was work. All right. So now screen blit. What we're gonna do is we're loading current image. Okay. Current image. So current image, we never have to change this. We're always using this. Makes it easy and very efficient. Now, so we don't need to do the array, and then we do the XY. Okay. So far, that's it. Let's try it. All right, so my up key. All right, so that's working. So it feels right. Now I can make it, but it's not moving. So it should have been idle. Okay. It should be idle. All right. Oh my God, I don't want to see my screen. Okay. I'm like, what was I? I was just typing away. Okay. Okay, so I just want to make sure, am I loading my image? I didn't see any errors. So these are working. Okay, these are working. So looking at this, idle frames, Pygame. Okay. Oh. Okay, so my idle frames are loading. Okay, so I have that as a container. So maybe this is not working, but this is working. Okay, so I need something that's gonna load my frames. So I could do something different. I'm looking. So I could load the images afterwards. Okay. This could be a little shortcut. So I got idle frames equals empty container. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this out. I feel like I might jam my finger. And I'm gonna say, oh man, I really don't want to do this, but it looks like I might have to. So square bracket pygame dot image load, and it's gonna go all images PNG, and then here, okay. Okay, for I in range, because I'm wondering, I hit the cast button. I'm wondering if 1 comma, what was that, 10? Yep. Okay, so instead of, I'm just gonna put it in the array right away. Okay, so I'm wondering if that's what the issue is. So we're gonna do it a little different. Put an array right away. Before I in range, range, okay, 1 comma, was it 8? Yep, 8. Try to keep it clean, and then get it. So now I have it here. So that's all there. Okay, so I'm trying to see if this works. Okay, so I got a frame delay. Okay. So those seconds. It should be 8 milliseconds or 80. I'm gonna try 80. Okay, and then put another variable because I need to figure out the timing in this, because it's working out great, but I think it's looking at the frame index and it's getting stuck. Like it's picking an image because I didn't even see it idle whatsoever. I mean, it just stood there. So context. So let's see if that works. All right. So I don't need a frame count. Okay. Still have my speed. Still have my I'm gonna take my moving right out. Okay. Running equals true while running. Clock dot tick 60 for an event in Pygame event. That's good. That's my keeps my screen up. And then I have ooh, keys equal Pygame dot. I don't need to do this. Key dot get pressed. Okay, and then I'm gonna say moving right equals keys square bracket Pygame dot key underscore right. Okay, so I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, so if moving rate, okay, if moving rate, so I had my, okay, hold on. While running, while running, clock for event in Pygame, okay, false. Keys moving right, key rate. I think I got it. If moving right, boo, x plus equals speed. Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna create another variable. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see what's not working. Like it's moving. Well, not moving. I have my animation going, but for some reason I'm trying to reverse it, but then at the same time I want it to move now. Now I'm trying to fix the move thing. Okay, so if now minus last frame, okay, last frame time is greater than equal to frame delay. Okay, that's the frame delay. Yep, frame delay. Yep, frame delay. Okay, boof. Okay, and it'll be last, last frame time equal to now. I'm getting so tired. Okay, so so now I'm gonna do if moving right, okay, run index equals run index plus 1 closed. Then I got my mod, the lane of run frames. Should be run frames. Yep. Okay. Else. Yeah, it should be else idle. So I got my idle. Should be idle index to, and it should be idle index plus 1. No. Remember I spelled it wrong here, right? I gotta do that up there. Okay. Idle index plus 1. About to mess this up. I'd be like, I give up. Set len idle. What was it? Len idle frames. Was it idle frames? There it is. Idle frames and okay. All right. So I think I got all this. on. I deleted too much, I'm thinking. If not, last frame. Yeah, this is gone. Okay, so it should be if moving right. My key's not there. Current image is equal to run frames square run index else current would be current image equals idle frames, and it'd be square, that should be idle index. Okay, so here I did the draw. So current image, flip. $45. Didn't I spell that right? Idle index. I didn't spell that right. Idle index. Didn't I fix it up here? Idle index equals 0. IDEL. IDEL index. What did it say? Make sure I did everything clean here. Idle index equals idle index plus 1 mod idle frames. So what did I do wrong? It's not callable. This is not there. Idle index. Did I put it up here? Did I have a pen? Idle index. Okay, hold on. Idle frames. Hold on. I'm trying to see what I did wrong. Something's wrong. Idle index equals 0. This is why I wish you had folks in the chat. Last frame time, get text. moving right index idle. All right, let me spell this right because maybe I'm not saying this. So idle index. Okay, so use the index. So set it 0. So down here, all right. Yeah, moving right, speed, moving right. That's frame delay. Okay, so idle index equals. Oh my gosh, that's why it's always good to look at stuff. Okay, it's okay. Hold on. Oh, jeez. I was about to put everything back. Okay, it works. All right, it works. So it's breathing, this, that. Okay, so save that. So we got right. We got right. It's moving right. Okay, so it's moving right. So I got that right. So it's moving right. So when it comes to moving left, it's a little different. You don't have to change a lot of stuff. So we have this. This is going right. All right. So this is fine. So idle index run is working fine. The frame delay and last frame, all that's working fine. But now I'm gonna put another variable. I'm facing right. Okay. So okay, I'm facing right. And so what I'm gonna do is to state it's true. If I'm going to the right, I need to change the status from I'm facing right, that I'm not running false, this is working fine. Keys, moving right, but moving left. Okay, move left is a different story. All right, so we need to take keys. Okay, all right, so Pygame. Oops. Okay, dot K. Now it's left. Okay, so now I'm saying if I move left. Okay, so what am I gonna do? So if I hit left, that means I'm doing stuff. So we're saying if moving right, X plus equals speed, and then I'm changing my status. So remember facing. Okay, facing right equals true. Okay, now I need to put something else. Else, okay, I need to do something, but this is gonna be not else, but it's gonna be else if. So it's LF. All right, there's something new, right? So moving left, okay, moving left. So what am I gonna do if I'm moving left? So my facing status is my facing right is false. So I need to do X minus equals speed, and my status is facing my facing right equals false. Now if my status is changed, my facing right, then I want to do some things. So my if now last frame, that stays the same. All right, that doesn't change. Right, that doesn't change. If moving right index, that doesn't change. My else index, that doesn't change. Now the thing is, if moving right current image, okay, so it's if moving right. All right, I need to do if moving right or okay moving left, because if I'm moving left, right, then I should be doing something, right? Current image is run frames, run index. Okay, so that doesn't change. So I need to do both. It's gonna be not and. It's gonna do one or. So if I'm not moving left, I'm not moving right, then I'm in current image. Okay, I'm in current image. That's where the logic comes in. Now the thing is, when I draw, okay, this is what I draw. This is it. All right. That's why I said the left stuff is kind of easy. Okay, so now, again, the left right stuff is easy. All right, so we're saying if, okay, not okay, facing right. Then I'm gonna do current image, okay, equals Pygame. Now, again, we need to transform it because we gotta mirror it. So basically flip it. Dot flip, okay, current image, comma true, comma false. Okay, so oops. What that's doing is it's gonna display the image that's right images, but if it's not facing right, like my facing, the Boolean status is changed, it's gonna flip it immediately. All right, so you wouldn't even tell. So let's run it. All right, whoop, whoop. Oh, it's not going through the whole thing. Okay, so I have it moving. I have it moving. Okay, but it's not running. So it's moving, but it's not flipping. Okay, it's not flipping. So, oh, I'm gonna save this. Okay, so, so it's grabbing this. That's fine, but that's flipping through the. It's not flipping through the frames. So I didn't have to change that. That stays. It's loading into memory. Okay. I wonder if I need to do this different. So if moving left, I'm not even doing this. Okay, so what I'm saying is, what if I change it? So instead of if moving right or moving left, it's not doing it. So hold on. If now, oh, the last frame, I need to reset. Ooh. So, because it's grabbing one frame. So, hold on. Moving right, Pygames, facing right, that's fine. True, he's right, that's fine. Okay, but the corner is moving to the animation part. Animation part. Oh, I forgot it here. I said if moving right, boom, but I forgot to do it there. Oh man. Duh. Forgot to do it too. Okay. I forgot to do it in both parts. All right. I did here, but I didn't do it up there. Right? There you go. All right. So pretty much in Pygame, okay, you can basically like do stuff like where like, hey, I could do the animation, and that's what's great about the freebies. And I'm looking at the time, it's 11:37. I didn't know it was on this long. I'm like having fun, so like 2 hours. So now, what if I wanted to add a background? Okay, I'm just gonna do this one thing, and I'm gonna save this so we can restart here next Wednesday. where I'm gonna add a background, but what if I wanna oh geez, I forgot now. I'm adding a background, but what if I want the background to be moving? So we'll do that. We're just gonna add a background. So let's close this and let's go back to freebies, 2D freebies. Oh, did I have a background here? Slide that. Got a bullet, muzzle, no background. Oh man, cheesy. Let's go to the free 2D game. Assets. Let's go to backgrounds. Okay. Go to background. That's cool. We'll go to background. So free download. So I downloaded it. All right. So, and let's see what we got. Go to my downloads. And that's the graveyard. So that's the background. That's cute. So put the background in the same directory as, yeah, BG. All right, so that's background. That's not bad. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just adding a background. Cheesy. So we'll do that at the top. We'll do that at the top. So we got import. I'm gonna shrink this up, try to reduce the amount of lines. We got our screen. We got a click tag. We got item frames. I'm trying to make sure this is all clean. Okay, so and let's say right below here. I'm trying to keep everything separate. We'll say we got a background. Okay, background equals Pygame. Okay, dot image. Dot load. Okay, and then what we're doing is the background. So it's under Python, PNG. Python.png slash, and I had it called, was it background? Background? Call it background. Thought I had it. BG.png. Yeah, BG. Okay. BG.png. Okay, so I got my background. Oops. Okay, so I got it. Now I loaded it up. All right, now here's the thing, because if I load it up, it's gonna be a real small picture, right? So it's gonna be background equals Pygame dot transform, because I want to stretch it, right? I want to make sure it takes up the whole screen, so scale it, because right now it looks nice. If I pick a size, it's gonna look all goofy. So gonna be background. Oh, I put neck. Background. As be background, comma, the width, comma, height. Now, you remember where I had the, I thought I had that width height in here. Did I have width and height in here? I never set up my screen. I must have my screen. I thought I did. Oh, look at this. Look at this. So, my Windows setup, I was like using variables. Right, equals 1080 by 800. All right, so here will be width, and then this will be height. Okay, so if I need to change anything, so other than that, it should be good. I don't need to put it anywhere. Oh, What did I forget? What did I forget? I don't need to do a fill anymore. So it'll be screen blit, background, comma, and it's gonna be centered. 0, 0. There you go. Okay. Now you can size the character if you wish. Now you can size the character, and then we'll talk about next Wednesday. Sizing the characters as this gets drawn, okay, you can shrink it up to scale. So it's the same normal size image that you have imported from freebies, but you can resize it. But just double check. So, but like I said, I'm trying to respond to chat here. Hold on. You can change the size. I don't need this right here. We can just change the size for it. So if we want to do a character with, like everything still stays the same. You could do it in the loop, whatever. I would say, like, I always said to myself, like, why can't you do it down here? You know, like why can't we do it down there? But some people said we could do it down here, or you could change it up at the top. Okay, it's like like up here when we do the idle frames, you could change the image up here, like reducing the size. So let's say if I do like character width, character height, like scale it, change it while it's loading into memory. So you have your image loaded, and then you take the same image and transform it to scale, so you could shrink it up. So it's already shrunken up. So anyway, we'll do that next Wednesday. Look at the time; it's 11:45. So, but anyway, guys, follow me, so you're notified on changes. Like I said, on Monday, it's Maya stuff, and we just did Earth, 3D Earth. So we're gonna try to do some space things. Like we got Earth done. Like, can we get like a Star Trek Enterprise type thing in there? So we're gonna try to see if we could do a space station scene. I was thinking about just doing mugs and just pouring, but anyway, we'll probably try to do it all at once. This was Python, and on Friday, today on Friday, we're gonna do an episode of Unreal Engine. Let's explore, grab some stuff from Kitbosh 3D, check it out. So follow me. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Take care and be safe.